Welcome back, metalheads and rockers. As you know, it's me, Alden, host of Underground Noise Webzine podcast, with Rhino, the co-host, and also our co-host, Roger Wilco, standing right behind him, better known as our mascot. Today's webisode number 151, I'd like to welcome back a returning guest, Ted Batt, the guitarist and vocalist of amazing slam band, brutal death metal, known as Saprogenous. Welcome back, Ted.
Thanks for having me, Al. Good to be
Hey,
back.
you're welcome. I'm glad you're back. The first question I would like to ask you is this. How did you guys go about making that music video for your latest song, Grotesque Organic Form? I was watching that just a few minutes ago, and I really love that one.
Thanks. Well, I'm a big horror fan, and I've always said that if I wasn't doing music, I would probably be like making movies or something. So I figured, I thought it would be a good idea to, make like a kind of a low budget music video. Kind of try my hand at filmmaking, so to speak. So we essentially just, set up in our rehearsal space. Um, I kind of directed it, set up the shots and everything. We ran through the song, multiple angles and everything, and then kind of just cut it together with some effects and some other kind of grotesque stuff that we put in there. So, yeah, it was just a no budget kind of a passion thing, and I'm glad it turned out great because I was really beating my head in working on it. I was, I don't have any kind of filmmaking experience or anything. I just kind of went by just kind of what I thought, just how I thought it should go.
Yeah,
But I'm glad it turned out cool, and a lot of people seem to like it.
the reason why I had asked you that, Ted, was because I was listening to the sample in the beginning of this song, and I was like, where'd you guys find that sample? That's really interesting. It really fit the description perfectly.
Yeah, that's from like some kind of a nature documentary where they were talking about maggots and uh, uh, how they lay their eggs and everything. And I just thought it was a cool sample, so we threw it on there.
Yeah, it really did the job. Really fit
Yeah,
the flow of the song because it just, fit perfect. So
yeah, I thought so as well.
yeah, I can really definitely dig that one. I'm gonna
Thanks.
have
I'm glad you
Rhino.
did.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see what Rhino's got today. What you got, sir?
Well, I'm going to start off with my favorite, to be honest. It's confession time. What do you have to confess to Underground Noise Webzine and Roger Wilco?
Hmm.
Forgive me, Roger, for I have sinned.
I don't
Oh,
know. I guess. Hmm. I guess I'll confess that we have a lot of really cool shit lined up for this summer, such as shows, working on the new album. We recently were signed to CDN Records, which uh, our full length is going to be coming out hopefully by the end of this year on CDN. So, really kind of working on that stuff and booking shows all over. So I that's the only thing I can really confess right now.
Any other shows announced or?
Yeah, we got our next show coming up next month. We're doing a couple of dates with Deterioration from Minneapolis and Traffic Death from Iowa. We're just going to be doing Wichita and Kansas City, just kind of back-to-back dates with those guys. They're our good friends. Of course, later that month is Arkansas Death Fest. We were supposed to play last year, unfortunately, due to things with the band, we couldn't make it. But we're excited to come out this year. We're really excited about that.
Nice. Excellent. All right, I'll throw one totally off topic here. Talking about the road, what's the weirdest thing that's happened during a tour?
Hmm. I think. I mean, it doesn't get too weird. I mean, it's basically, you're sitting in the vehicle, you hit the gas station, hit the show venue, you know, find somewhere to sleep, get up and do it again. I would say probably the weirdest, not in this band, but my old band Knife Wound. We were on tour with a band called Garroted, and our van broke down in this little town in Iowa that pretty much closes like Friday night, and everything's closed till Monday morning. And it was fucking Friday night when that shit uh, broke down. So we were pretty much stranded there all weekend trying to figure out what we're gonna do with this van. We had a trailer full of gear. Um, we're out in the middle of nowhere, so that was very strange. We ended up camping out in a hotel or a motel parking lot and just kind of made the best of it. We called it the shanty town, and we just kind of waited around for options to open up to get us out of there. And we ended up spending more money just to get back home than we probably would have on the whole tour. So it was a lesson learned. Definitely, if you're going to be traveling, go with a reputable like rental company and not just borrow a vehicle from somebody, because if we had just spent extra money and went with like Enterprise or something, we could have continued on the tour and gotten another vehicle. So yeah, don't skimp on that. That's my big piece of advice if you're going to be on the road, is don't skimp on the vehicle.
Oh, absolutely. I've seen so many breakdowns, accidents.
Yeah.
What was it? Idaho? My buddy flipped a Prius.
Oh, geez.
Yep. I flipped it. They took the windows out and drove it to Washington State. Let me turn it back to Al.
Say, Ted, what bands are you looking forward to seeing at Arkansas Death Fest?
Oh, wow. Definitely Embalmer, Levidity, Cephalotripsy. God, fucking, there's so many sick bands, but those are probably the ones I'm most looking forward to, just because those are bands I never thought I'd get to see, let alone play with. So we're all definitely very excited for the fest. The Heathen House, we've been talking to Heath for a long time, and we're definitely excited to finally get out there and jam with everybody.
Yeah, it's gonna be amazing, dude. I can't wait to see you guys, and I can't wait to see Internal Suffering, because those dudes I've been following for
Oh
a
yeah,
long time.
yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, that's going to be another highlight too. It's such a stacked lineup, just 2 days of nothing but brutality. So we're definitely looking forward to it. Definitely looking forward to seeing you and Brendan and everybody, all the other bands, people we've talked to and haven't really had a chance to hang out with yet. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm hoping that Embalmer at least plays the song "The Cellar," and if they don't play "The Cellar," at least they could play "There Was Blood Everywhere."
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah,
I will flip
I'm
my wig.
yeah, so excited. Yeah, we're gonna we're playing day two, but we're coming up that morning because we want to hang out day one and see the bands and see everybody and hang out. So um, yeah, we're definitely looking forward to it. It's going to be our bassist Felicia's first uh, festival with us. She had to miss out on a couple of festivals because she had a new baby last year. So it's gonna be cool to have her with us finally. The festival weekends are always a freaking blast. It's some of my favorite. Probably one of my favorite parts about being a band is the festival weekend. So
Yeah,
definitely looking forward to that.
it'll be my first time performing at a festival too.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, I'm definitely excited to see you guys. Are you guys playing day one or day two? I don't remember.
Day one on Friday.
Day one. Oh, okay, cool. So yeah, we'll definitely be there to see you then.
Awesome. Appreciate it. I'd like to ask you more about horror movies, Ted. I love horror movies myself. What's your favorite?
Favorite? That's a hard question to ask. I mean, I have a few favorites.
You can name a few if you want.
It would definitely be the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2, the original Dawn of the Dead, Street Trash, The Beyond, Zombie 2, Hellraiser 2, House by the Cemetery, Suspiria. Man, I'm just a horror freak. I don't really dig on a lot of the newer stuff just because I don't know. It's just I don't know. I like the 70s and 80s stuff the most, especially the 80s stuff. I don't know. They really nailed it with the aesthetic and everything back then. And I don't know if it's just because I'm older, but man, it's hard for me to get into a newer horror movie just because it seems like everything's like a remake or like a reboot of something that was good from the 80s. So I don't know. I would say one of the better newer horror movies I would say is probably this movie called The Void, which I really enjoyed. I thought it was a lot like a weird Hellraiser, H.P. Lovecraft type vibe, and I really enjoyed it. But yeah, man, I freaking love horror movies.
That's really awesome. I can't wait to see Terrifier 3. See what happens with Art.
Yeah, I forgot about the Terrifier movies. Yeah, for newer movies, those are freaking awesome. I saw the second one in the theater and loved it. I saw the first one on DVD or whatever years when they came out and loved that one too. I love those dumb slasher movies. I feel like the people who make the Terrifier movies definitely get the old school horror, so and they're kind of bringing that vibe to the new generation. So definitely love that.
Yeah, I just love the nostalgia behind it because sometimes you look at it and you say to yourself, "This is so cheesy, but it's cool at the same fucking time."
Yeah, I mean, I grew up, with watching Friday the 13th and everything, and it definitely has that vibe of just a dumb slasher, just a crazy clown just hacking people up for 2 hours.
Yeah, it's pretty wild, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Ryan. You're here twice, so it looks like.
Yeah, I'm good. Okay, if you have me on that one, then I don't know what happened. It just went gone. So let me exit this one.
Okay.
What the hell's happening?
Blueprint number 455,000 on Underground Noise Webzine podcast. We love bloopers here. Gotta love that shit.
That was weird.
Yeah, what stoner moment was that again, Rhino?
No, it just went plunk. Like, and I'm not even on your AOL. We actually have digital.
Yeah, stop tripping, boy. Who you playing?
I do want to step to what I was about to ask right before. Well, whatever happened there. Your bassist is not bringing the baby to the show, right?
No.
Okay, because I can't think of a worse place for a baby than a death metal show.
My kid and everything are around it, so it's like no shock or even. My daughter's not even cool to my daughter. She's we've had death metal band and grind band stay over at the house, and she's been around it all the time. So it's just dad's crazy friends. She tells me that people will probably think I'm weird because I'm always wearing shirts with zombies and sloppy handwriting on them. So.
Oh, I mean, well, take Brendan's band that Al does the project with. You have fetal involvement, of course, dying fetus. There's a lot of obsessions with killing babies. So.
Yeah. I like babies, so I'm not into that, but I get that whole thing. Actually, our bass player's baby, we kind of considered her part of the band when Felicia was pregnant with her. So, she was technically kind of in the band, because, Felicia was up to like 7 months pregnant playing shows with us. So she got evacuated. and kicked out of the band after that.
Yeah, can't risk that spreading.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I mean,
Ooh.
could you imagine if the water broke while on stage? That would be rather kind of embarrassing, but at the same time, it'd be like, uh-oh.
I'd be more
Yeah,
concerned.
that was kind of a joke we had was, because around that time we weren't really playing any shows that weren't too far away from home, just in case. It's like, you don't want to be like down in Texas or Oklahoma or something, and oh well, got to cancel a show, got to go have a baby or something.
Right.
But yeah, no, she's been a great sport about it, and we would kind of joke with her and everything. Being pregnant, still jamming with a death metal band. So it just shows you how brutal she is.
Nice. Too cool. I don't know if I asked, where are you guys out of?
Out of Kansas.
We're at Wichita, Kansas.
Out of Kansas. Okay.
Yeah.
I've never been out there.
Yeah. Really not much to see out here. I mean, we're not like out in the sticks. Yeah. Corn, wheat. We're not like out in the sticks or anything. Like, we're in the city, but I mean, there's not a lot that goes on around here. I mean, there's really not a huge scene here in Wichita. I mean, we're trying to change that. Like, my bassist and I have Underground Sickness Productions, which is just kind of what we book shows under, and we try to bring in like touring bands and everything to we're trying to get the scene going here, just because there's a lack of like real extreme metal and stuff right here. So, up further north, like Kansas City area, there's more of a scene up there. I mean, I don't know if it's as strong as it once was, but there's a lot of cool bands up there that way. Like down here, I mean, there's only like a handful of like extreme metal bands.
Too cool. I mean, yeah, anything you can do to build a scene.
Yeah, it's been really successful though. We've had a few shows now that have been really successful, despite there being like other shows going on around town. Like, our shows have done really good, and we've got a few more. We got a really, really big one that we're going to be announcing soon for September. It's going to be some international bands, and definitely the biggest show we've done. But yeah, we've got a bunch of other shows that we haven't announced yet. I just confirmed one today. That's going to be a pretty sick show. Some big heavy hitters coming through.
That's
but
awesome.
I was just kind of sick of the lack of scene here. So I'm just like, man, why don't we just fucking do it? If nobody else is going to do it, so we might do it. So it's been really successful.
Yeah, when you announce it, let us know. We'll post it up on the underground page.
Cool,
Absolutely.
man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, absolutely, man. You gotta do what you gotta do, keep it going. Go with the flow.
Yeah.
Al, you awake?
Yeah, actually, I'm just trying to think what I can ask Ted.
Oh, then I'll throw one in the meantime. How about that?
That's cool. Go for it.
All right. Another one of my favorites. All right. You get to bring a musician back from the dead. In return, though, you have to sacrifice a modern musician. Who are you bringing back and who's gone?
I would say I would bring back probably Killjoy from Necrophagia, or Jim Kanya from Nunslaughter. And if I just so it has to be a modern
Not
musician.
necessarily modern, but your call.
Any deathcore musician.
Good choice.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to like sacrifice people, but yeah, I mean, those would be my picks. You could bring some back from the dead. Jim Kanya or Killjoy would be cool.
Excellent. And totally off topic. Now, what advice do you give to your 10-year-old self, musically and otherwise?
Hmm. My 10-year-old son. Well, the first thing is beg dad to invest in Apple stock, Google stock. But I don't know. I guess I would just tell myself to stick with it, and don't give up. Don't let other people get you down. Probably just um, just some positivity there to just keep going and not let anybody keep you down.
Don't let anybody break your stride.
That's right.
Never let anybody impede your progress.
Yeah.
What's the hardest song you've ever learned how to play on guitar, Ted?
I'm trying to think. It's been a long time since I've tried to learn any song on guitar. I mean, the last 25 years I've just been writing my own stuff. But like when I was first starting out, probably like I don't know, probably some Metallica or something, like some Metallica leads. Probably the lead for like Master of Puppets or something. I know when I was first starting out on guitar, uh, a lot of the Metallica stuff I try to learn was just like I could play bits and pieces of it here, but yeah, some of those songs were pretty hard. But
Yeah,
I don't think I've ever tried to play any like Necrophagist or any crazy Ingve Malmsteen or anything like that.
yeah, I can
Probably
definitely.
Van Halen. Probably Van Halen's got some hard licks.
Yeah, Eruption's one of my favorites.
Oh yeah, I could play bits and pieces of that, but uh, I don't know, man. I just get too overwhelmed, like trying to learn stuff that sounds like a lot of shredding and super technical. That's why I've never been a technical player, Just I don't know, my mind. It's hard for me to wrap my mind around it because I'm kind of ADHD and my mind just can't really focus, I guess.
Yeah, I can relate to that. 'Cause sometimes I'll hear something in my head and I'll hum it out, and then I'll play it on my guitar, and I'll be like, okay, sounds good.
Yeah,
I might need to edit a few things here and there, but that's okay. Nothing wrong with
yeah,
that. Sometimes the tempo might be, at a certain tempo, but you have different time signatures, for certain riffs.
You should always carry a
yeah.
harmonica
I
for
remember
that.
trying to. I remember trying to play like some Carcass leads off of Necroticism were pretty fucking crazy. But yeah, for the most part, it's been a long time since I've tried to play other people's stuff. Like I usually I'm so focused on writing my own stuff.
Right on, dude. Because that's basically what I do. I don't do covers myself unless I'm doing vocals. But here's a question.
Yeah.
What do you guys like to do before you perform? Do you have any pre-show rituals?
Hmm.
Because you know how football teams can sit there
Well, I
in the
don't.
bubble and say, let's do this or something.
Haven't
No,
watched.
no, we don't really do anything like that. We just kind of, meet up and, kind of just get our shit together and just get up there and do it. I don't know. I guess before the show, we'll get some food or something and get some water going. But yeah, we don't really have any pre-show rituals. I don't think. I mean, if we do, man, I have to ask AJ or Felicia, but I can't think of any. I mean, we've been doing it so long. It's just fucking just get up there and do it. So
Right on. I figured I would ask that just because it's a question that doesn't get asked too frequently.
yeah.
So hasn't heard none. What you got, Rhino?
All right. Musically, you have any pet peeves?
Hmm. Musically, like as in like listening to music or my own music or
Anything? Yeah.
hmm. I don't like super. overproduced music. I mean, that's like one of the reasons I kind of get into, or it's just it sounds so overproduced to me. Like the drums sound like, like triggered out, and just it's
Hmm.
all like computers and shit. It just doesn't I don't know, it doesn't sound it doesn't sound organic to me.
Yeah, yeah, overly technical. Yep, drum machine type stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. It just doesn't have that grime on it that a lot of death metal and grind does.
Right. No
Where
raw
it's just,
element to it.
yeah, it's just very polished. That's why I can't get into like a lot of that and like the technical, like the tech dev stuff. It's just I don't know, man. It just doesn't even sound. It sounds like people like showing off how much they practice, and then
Hmm.
like the producers like showing off how good they are at like recording and mixing. It's just I don't know. Like I think the focus should be more on like the riffs and the music than like the technical aspect of it.
Yeah, I saw years back we had one and it was pure instrumental. And the other bands that were playing that night loved it. So technically they were performing for the other bands.
Yeah.
it's it was that's all. I mean, you get that technical, only somebody that into your sound is gonna really get into it.
And there's nothing wrong
Yeah.
with a drum machine as long as it sounds pretty decent. Some bands can get away with it and some bands can't.
Well, I have Parker. He's a drum machine. He's just cyborg human.
Yep, Parker Yell. 10 minutes.
Yep. All right. What's the craziest thing you've seen while performing?
Hmm. Probably my the stage to beat up a security guy. Uh, we played. This was a few years ago. We played at a club here, and there was this guy. Wasn't even like a security guy. He was just like a guy that was just supposed to like kind of watch the door and like check IDs and then like take out the trash. But he had bought like a his own like security hat, and he was trying to be security. And he was like a small guy. I don't know what his deal was, but some people were like kind of moshing around and stuff. And it was one of our friends from one of the bands we were playing with, and he came up and like put him like in this like sleeper hold, and that didn't sit well with my bass
Anybody?
player. He just immediately jumped off the stage and just with the bass and everything, just started like just punching him, and then a big fight broke out, and it was such
Uh,
a mess. Um, we haven't played at that club since. It's a local club, and then I get a phone call from the owner the next night, bitching me out about it, and I'm like, well, I mean, the guy was trying to start trouble all night long. I can't control what my bandmates are gonna do. I mean, I wouldn't have done it, but you know, he's a little more hot-headed than the rest of us.
yeah, especially a chokehold over something like that. I mean, that's
Yeah,
you're pushing it right there. You're starting trouble.
yeah. It was a real small venue, real small show. So it was like he could have just tapped the guy and said, "Hey, don't do that," instead of just.
Yeah.
But the guy was looking for trouble all night. Like he was like just messing with people all night long. Just and I don't know why. I mean, the dude was a tiny dude. I mean, he got stomped out. He would have been stomped out by anybody. So I don't know. Some people were just idiots.
Yeah, get rid of the poser and also don't kick the gate.
What was it? Maybe last year or the year before we were down at a club. We go down the beach. Some buddies of mine went to this karaoke spot, and this drunk guy, the bouncer had said something to him, and I look back a minute later, and the bouncer walks up to this guy. He puts his fist up, and that's how the bouncer carried him out. His fists were still up coming out the door.
That's
I
great.
wanted. I was kind of mad because I would have liked that shot video of that. But
You know, the moments in metal that we live for, you know, it's amazing, some of our stories. Yeah, the reason
Yeah.
why I said don't kick the gate, Ted, is because everyone Brandon told me about the time when you guys were at a show.
I wasn't there. I was in Boston at the time. But I had heard about it because I know him and some other friends were going to go to a show up in Lawrence, Kansas, or Topeka, Lawrence. I think it was in Lawrence,
Yeah,
somewhere up
it
in
was exhumed.
northern Kansas. Yeah, it was exam. I can't remember where it was, but I remember getting a text from our friend like, oh yeah, Brandon went to jail. He kicked over this little like fence thing, was drinking and decided to just kick over this little thing, and then they, I guess, called the cops on him and had him arrested. So I was like,
Jeez.
well, good luck with that. I hope. I mean, I'm on the other side of the country. I can't do anything, but hopefully he'll get out. But I think he got out. Like, I don't think he was locked up very long.
Nah, probably not. Like, I got to give the guy a lot of credit, you know, because he's been through a lot of shit. So,
Yeah.
especially that accident, that was just like mind blowing when I found out about that. So, my heart went out to him. I'm like, I'm sorry that
Yeah.
you had to deal with that.
Oh yeah. I was a wreck all weekend when I found out about that, and then I finally got a chance to talk to him, and I'm glad he's recovering and everything. I've known the guy freaking, I think, nearly 20 years now. He's one of my best friends, and you know, I wish him a speedy recovery, and he's got a lot of people out here rooting for him.
Oh, yeah. Glad I can do that as well. So,
Yeah.
well, hey, Ted, we don't have very much time left. I'm pretty sure your stomach's wambling over there saying, feed me dinner.
Yeah. Well, thanks for having me on, and it was a blast as always. Yeah, I can't wait to see you on May 17th and 18th out in Arkansas. So yeah, anybody who's watching this, come out, Cord, Arkansas for Arkansas Death Fest. It's going to be a real good time.
Absolutely. Good food, good metal, good people, and excellent
Oh yeah.
times.
Yeah, you guys check out Murder Method while they're there. They're out of my region.
Absolutely.
Okay, definitely. Yeah, I'm looking forward to checking out everybody.
Yeah, we're doing a series as to how many bands we can get for this festival before the actual festival begins. So
Oh,
looking
cool.
forward to it, Ted. It's gonna be fucking sick, dude.
Awesome, man. Well, thanks for having me, guys.
Oh,
Hey, you're
thanks for
welcome.
coming.
Always a pleasure.